Hello, how are you doing? I ain't posted in well over a year, and today I just wanted to speak on a conversation that I had with a guy who was exonerated for something that he didn't do. I feel like I should share some of the conversation we had because I feel like it would help more than just me, that will help others in a similar situation that I'm in, as far as trying to help someone who has been wrongfully incarcerated for something they didn't do. I want to give a quick backstory before I get into the conversation. I met a man named I met a man named William Baxter, who has been wrongfully convicted for something he didn't do. While trying to help him regain his liberty, he asked me to reach out to someone he knows who has been through a similar situation that William is going through, by the name of Leon Benson. If you ain't heard of Leon Benson, you don't watch the damn news, baby. Because that motherfucker everywhere. Let me just tell you. He be all over the news. You look up his shit on YouTube. Sorry. Look up his shit on YouTube and you'll find something. Just put in Leon Benson. Something will pop up, promise you. Leon was convicted of murder and was sentenced to 60 years based on a testimony from a witness who identified him from 150 feet away. I don't know what type of eyes she got, or he, her, whatever the witness was, but 150 feet away, I'm just saying. Long story short, Leon served almost 25 years before he exonerated due to witness misidentification and poor police investigation, which ain't nothing new. And he, a colored man, yeah. So I reached out to Leon Benson and for some guidance and a possible insight on how he regained his freedom. Although he let me know that accomplishing a goal to gain William's freedom would be extremely difficult because that's how the system is. Leon did leave me with a few encouraging words, but he gave me insight on how someone who was wrongfully convicted and how at times their anger and frustration, and it's real, is aimed at incarcerated loved ones. It may seem, let me back up because my thing kind of paused a little bit. It says, insight on how someone who has been wrongfully convicted and how at times their anger and frustration is aimed at incarcerated loved ones. It may seem like they are taking everything out on you. Just know if your incarcerated loved ones, it's your incarcerated loved ones' passion to gain their innocence. At the end of my conversation with Leon, he also left me with some words that touched my heart. I ain't gonna lie, it really did. And made me feel appreciated, even though I know I am very appreciated. I felt very warm from the words he was telling me. It felt really great hearing it from someone else. I feel like I should extend this appreciation to all the people who are supported and fighting for someone that they love and has either been wrongfully convicted, over sentenced, or failed by the system, which happens every day, especially with colored people. I'm about to put in a few clips from about Leon's story, and then I'm also gonna add a little something at the end for William. William, in his case right now, he has all of his ducks lined up. He got all of his, newly found evidence lined up, all that to prove his innocence, witnesses and affidavits and all that. So with that being said, he has spoke to a lawyer to help file his case so he can turn this conviction over and, whatnot. He has already reached out to the Innocent Project. They are also reviewing his case. But with that being said, to overturn a case that's already been, set in stone and whatever, it's not cheap. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time. And he has a job in prison. If you don't know anything about prison jobs, they don't pay you shit, literally shit money. You work your ass off and you barely get a goddamn dime. No offense to anybody out there, but William does work. He gets up every day faithfully and he works. With that being said, I did make a GoFundMe for him so we can try to raise funds so he can get this lawyer. If you don't have the money to donate, I completely understand. What I would like for you guys to do is at least share it, put it on your social media, share, somebody on there. I mean, if you can't give $1 or whatever, you can please put a share out this for this man. He's a good person. He's been fighting for his life for all these years. He's already lost a lot of years of his life. He missed out on his son's life and all that. So, I hope you guys like the video. If you have any questions, reach out. You can reach me on my social media. My Facebook name is Deanna Baker Chantel. You can reach out on my YouTube channel. You can comment if you got any questions or anything like that. But thank you guys for watching and listening to my little tiny TED Talk or whatever you want to call it. You know, just trying to educate some people on what's going on in this world. I'm being the best person I can when it comes to William. I'm trying to help him out as much as I can. So please, if you cannot help him in any way, just share his GoFundMe. Thank you.
An Indianapolis man wrongfully imprisoned for a murder back in the 90s is tonight celebrating 1 year since he was exonerated. A Marion County judge found his case had been mishandled after he spent nearly 25 years at the state prison in Plainfield. Our Chase Howell sat down with the man who says you can't be bitter and grateful at the same time.
It was in the early morning of August 8th, 1998, that Casey Schoen was found shot to death in the cab of his truck at 14th and Pennsylvania.
We heard the shots. We looked around a little bit because it sounded like it was like outside the building. And we just went back to what we were doing, you know, like, hey. And I just went on home.
That building Leon Benson was talking about is just catty corner from where that truck was found, which was here underneath this tree. The key witness was about 150 feet away, or from me to the camera. She says the shooter was a dark black man with no facial hair. A few days later, that witness would pick out 22-year-old Benson, who was light-skinned and had a mustache at the time.
I couldn't believe it, you know, and I got arrested. I still was like, they just trying to scare me or something. But once it really came down to the wire about, you know, what was going on, I'm like, the system is really like finna prosecute me over this.
Court records show Benson was later tried for the murder of Schoen in May of 1999, which ended in a mistrial. 2 months later, he would be tried again. This time, he was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 60 years in state prison.
That's the closest thing to death on this side of life. When you sit there and nobody believe you, you yell and nobody listen. It's the equivalent of having a stab wound in your back and people just walking by you on the sidewalk. You say help, but they just don't look, they don't know.
Benson says he spent 10 of those years locked up in solitary confinement.
Sometimes you get a shower, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're allowed out to go to the rec yard, sometimes you're not. And every time you are brought out of the cell, you are in leashes, in chains. So for a decade, that's the way I was ushered around.
22 years after Benson was put in prison, the Conviction Integrity Unit of the Marion County Prosecutor's Office began investigating his case.
I missed out on just being free, being able to do what I want. But what hurts the most, I missed out on the time to be there with my children when they grew up. They were 2 and 1. It's a deep hurt.
In March of 2023, a Marion County judge determined Benson had been wrongfully convicted. This came after it was determined the detective in the case withheld key evidence that pointed to another man.
I believe what provoked him It was love. He had love for his kindred. He seen a person of white descent shot down. Maybe this kid looked like this son, his nephew. I get it. This is what Detective Jones do. He's not a bad guy per se. He just made the wrong decision.
Now Benson sits in front of me, a free man, using his misfortune to help others.
See, the common unity equals community, but that common unity is, I don't care what side of the aisle, if you on, wherever you at, whatever you on, your politic, whatever. Everybody want freedom. Don't everybody want love? Everybody want justice. So if you come to me and you about those values, I'm rocking with you, you know what I mean?
Reporting in Indianapolis, Chase Howell, 13 News.
One thing before I go too. You are appreciated. You are. You a representation of my mother, my sister, of my auntie. You a representation of what love really look like. Now, the sacrifice you make, this is not merely for you. You're doing it for God.
Right.
Think like that when you do that. Have that love right there. Switch all the intentions as much as you can to be as pure as possible. Because that way, doors will open, not only for Mr. Baxter, but for you as well. You're a part of this partnership. And what I'm saying, have that. It ain't no mirage or nothing like that. Nah, the work that you do to do that, to give somebody hope, somebody who is sitting there, and whether he said or not. Hey, sometimes we be like, are they gonna answer the phone this time? She did. Damn. Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, think about that, and I definitely want to give you your flowers while you here and acknowledge you.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate it.
yeah. But hey, you have a good one. You have a good one.
Help a person prove their innocence after 20 years. They've been fighting for their freedom for decades. He has been wrongfully convicted for nearly 20 years. Now, funds are urgently needed for a lawyer to help prove their innocence. You can play a crucial role in helping them reclaim their freedom today. Every dollar you contribute brings them closer to justice. Join us in the fight for justice.